Hi guys, welcome back. What's wrong with me? Okay, hello guys, welcome back. So this is just a continuation of where I stopped from the last episode. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tolu Olukomi, and I keep reintroducing myself at the beginning of this episode because I believe it's a Q&A episode. So you might just want to listen to this first because it's Q&A. So because I received a couple of questions. Although I was expecting more questions, I put out a tweet and an Instagram post for people to ask questions. But if you didn't have the opportunity to ask, please, you know where to find me. Just, I hope you can send me a DM on Instagram at the Non-Immigrant Student and a DM on Twitter at Tolu Olukomi. And you can also send me an email at the nonimmigrantstudent@gmail.com. So yeah. But so far, I have about 9 questions I left unanswered in the last episode. So we'll just jump right into it. And I hope you had a great week. I hope you're doing fine wherever you are. I'm holding up on my own end. But yeah, better days are coming. Amen. Okay, and just before we start, so at the end of part 1, just in case you haven't listened to it, I was talking about how I'm trying to partner with someone who I feel has a very good solution for most of us back home in Africa. You know, I'm a Nigerian by nationality. Although haters will say, what else can I be Nigerian by? But yes, I'm a Nigerian by I'm Tolu by name, and I'm a Nigerian by nationality. So yeah, and oh my God, dry jokes. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I was talking about how someone introduced me to her, and I was like, I'm very interested in this because there's, everyone wants to attach themselves to a good vision. And so she's trying to help students who have issues paying their service fee. I think service stands for Student Exchange Visitor Information. I keep forgetting the meaning. Just give me a second. Let me check the full name out while I'm here. Student and Exchange Visitor Information System. Yes, that's what it is. So for everyone who is trying to school in the US, you have to have a service ID, as most of you know who are in the US or who plan to come. So if you're a prospective or incoming student here in the US, you would know this, and you have to pay this fee to be able to get your I-20. So I know back home, the banks are not able to pay these fees to US institutions. So you either have to go through a friend or Western Union or some funny way eventually. And for most of you who actually pay people that do it through black market, you might not like how expensive some of the rates go, as high as $1 to $4.95 naira. So this is someone who has decided that, I'm going to help people back home and I'm going to do it at a more affordable rate. So yes, I decided to share it with you guys. So the name of her company is Service Africa, and she's a US-based payment service for African immigrant students looking for an easy way to pay their service fee, as well as other education or US immigration-related bills. Although the official launch date for this business is May 15, 2021, and her website is serviceafrica.com. But I think she has been doing this for quite a while now and decided to go public, IPO style. Amen. So yeah, you can send her an email at info@serviceafrica.com. I'll say that again. info@serviceafrica.com. Service as in SEVIS. Africa.com. And payment can be made to a Nigerian bank account, and the service fee will be remitted within 24 hours. So she'll sort you out. Just send her an email and let her know that you're from me, you were listening to my podcast. And even if it wasn't from my podcast, if someone sent the flyer to you, the flyers will be out by tomorrow, hopefully. So just let them know that you're from a non-immigrant student, and it doesn't trigger a discount or anything, but she just knows you're from me. Eventually, if you feel like we need a discount, just let me know. We'll try to work something out, but that's not a promise. So once, and yes, you should also let her know you're from. Please, I beg, please, I'm begging. I think, you should let her know, because I think, I'm able to get my cut from that. But if it's fine if you forget, no problem. But just patronize her. I believe in the vision, and I'm happy that someone is finally taking up, this opportunity to help people back at home. And also, she helps with admission deposits for as many of you who get accepted and you're trying to pay your acceptance fee. Maybe your school might not have a secure link for you to pay. She can also help with that. She also helps with school fees. She also helps you to shop when you get I don't know about helping you shop, but if you might need money, you might have Naira and need dollars to shop in case you don't have a card, she can help with that. She also helps with rent and lease, deposits. Then if you need like bus tickets, I think Greyhound is a really popular bus. People use Greyhound bus tickets from the airport to the house. She can help with booking and paying for that. And then she also helps with hotel bookings, just hotels, no Airbnbs and discounted flights. So I feel like, I jumped at this opportunity to partner with her because this is a very viable business solution and I believe in it and I trust her. And if you trust me, then please trust her and patronize her. So thank you very much. Whew, this is a lot. I didn't know this is how influencers do it, guys. You guys, I'm proud of me. Okay. Next question. But if you haven't listened to part 1, you should listen to part 1. I think very interesting questions were asked there just in case you might be curious. So next question. We had 19 questions and I think I stopped at number 10 in the previous episode. So number 11. So if this is your first time here, I'm a graduate student at Cornell University and I'm currently studying engineering management. I attended Cornell University where I studied chemical engineering for my first degree. So this person is asking, Maxwell is asking, how is the engineering management blend and is there a good balance of both? So I'm guessing he's asking like, how is the blend of engineering and management and is there a good balance? As the name implies, yeah, it is. I think it's a very good blend. I think if you want to, well, you know what? Let me just cut the crap, like they say. For most of us who studied engineering, we know that most of us did it for whoever we did it for, and we eventually want to leave it behind. And for me, I didn't have courage to completely walk away from it. So you know what? I was like, what can I do with my engineering degree? Although I think I always ask myself, if I turn back the hands of time, what would I study in school? I think I would have studied political science or mass communication or theater arts, maybe. I always wished I could act and sing and dance and all that stuff, even though my alter ego can. Haters will say it can't, but oh well, yeah. So yeah, if you didn't have the courage like me to turn your back completely on engineering, even if I came here I was also, because there are a lot of programs you can actually do. CS majors, computer science majors can also do engineering management, even though you didn't have any core, because most of the core classes are not exactly engineering. So my core classes are economics and finance for engineering managers, decision analytics and framing, risk, and I think there was a class risk management or risk analysis. I didn't take it though because I've taken it to CU, project management, data engineering methods. I think that's where you learn R and Python or so. And then you can also even do an immersion in business school for 1 semester, which is what I'm doing for my 2nd semester. And so I think there's a very good blend of it. So you just need to check out what's your best fit. All the schools I applied to, I had to make sure what can they offer me, like what classes are they doing? Because I don't want to come and jam another, and jam means like I don't want to come and collide with another, head-on collision with another very nonsense, no offense to all my engineering friends across the world. I don't want to come and meet another very annoying engineering class here. And it's not like I was bad at it in school, chemical engineering was interesting while it lasted, especially when I had good professors. But it was just a lot of things I felt didn't matter to the world, all those questions I was proving formulas. I think back then, it must have really been an honorable profession because they were the ones who discovered a lot of things that make the world today. All the science, all the designs, all the processes, all these things that were formulated back then that make the world as it is today. But the world has so evolved that I don't really feel then the profession is as relevant or as interesting. So I don't feel like there's room for like groundbreaking research. Honestly, like if you if you see me critiquing this profession, you'll never want to study engineering. So let me just stop here so I don't discourage people that are head on into it. So I was like, you know what? I'm a people person. I want to do this management. I want to plan. I want to organize. I want to affect people's actual human beings' lives. Not equipment and machineries or whatever, or machines. So apparently, did you guys know that equipment does not have a plural word? It's not equipment, it's equipment. So equipment, I take back my former word. So yeah, so I was like trying to find a program that could still meet my heart desires. So yeah, that's why I chose engineering management. And I would say so far I've been able to make the best of it, even though I still have to take some, like one of the worst classes. I find out I'm taking it out on the professor and the TA, even if it's not their fault. But I just hate the class so much. I'm even taking it out on myself because I had a quiz this morning and I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not reading for it. The class can't stress me, hurting myself in the process and my grades. But yeah, so yeah, you might still, even in even in choosing a program, I still have an episode I have an episode on choosing your program, dealing with tough classes, and courses, and how to just generally be wise about choosing your program. Because to me, it's a lot of tactics. Because there are some classes you have to choose. I never take a class if I don't do research on, never. Because even sometimes it will look very sweet. You see the syllabus, you're like, wow, mesmerizing. I'm going to love this class, I will now enter inside and see that this is not what I thought it was. I have to drop it. So after my last semester, I would always do research. Even after reading the syllabus before I enroll, I will also go on my group chats. I talked about this in episode 10 where I talked about how to make friends in a new country and putting yourself out there. All the group chats I've ever joined in Cornell, on Slack, on WhatsApp, on iMessage, wherever it is, I will message them. I don't care if anybody knows me there, but I always get answers. I'm always like, hi guys, who has taken this class before? Do you have any advice? What professors, because different professors can take a class apparently here, and different classes happen at different times, I was in a class this semester where the professor would teach from 10 a.m. to 1. So there were 3 sessions of the class back to back, and it makes me really respect the professors here. I think I've been saying lecturers, but I think they're called professors here. So yeah. So what was that? Where did I stop? So yeah, I would find out what classes should I take. Which professor should I take it with? Does the class have too many assignments? Do they quiz every week? Do they test every week? How often do they give assignments? I find out all these things. So I know that I know how to plan my classes, because there's some other classes that are already deadly. There's nothing I can do about it. But the ones I can boycott, I'm going to boycott. So yeah, so I would say schooling here is a big, even online shopping here. I digress, but if you see when I'm doing my online shopping, you would think that I'm preparing for war. Because I'm like, people cannot cheat me. I'm calculating, this is $1 for 55 fluid ounces. Oh, let's say ounces. This is $2 for 64 fluid ounces. I think it's a better deal. I'm always calculating economies of scale, whatever that is, and trying to pick the best. So yeah, it's just a lot. You just have to build your own, I build, that's what I'm saying. I don't just let it happen to me. So even though I chose engineering management for my master's, I'm still trying to make the best of it. So here I can build my own track. I talked about it in part 1, how I built my own track, and I won't talk too much, so you can go listen to it. And increase the downloads on that episode. Thank you very much. So, next question. Sean is asking me, when am I getting married? Brother. Okay, intrusive much? Or not? Don't mind me, I'm just joking. I guess when the time is right. I could tell you all day how I thought I was going to get married at 25. Like standard, it was my standard daydream that on my 25th birthday on a Monday, if you're a girl, you know what I'm saying, right? At 20, we already checked the calendar day for our 25th or our 23rd birthdays. Where will I be? Maybe I'll be in a restaurant, They'll propose to me, yada, yada, yada. But here I am, 25, I'm still in school, which is still very fulfilling. Right now I have no regrets, so I would say. But yeah, I think the right answer to that question is when the time is right. Yeah. Because right now, it's no longer dependent on me. So, or the future, guys. It's something I have to discuss with God as well. But hopefully when the time is right. So next question. Let me scroll a bit. So this question is from Shubami. Why engineering management? Oh my goodness. You know what? Just go back. If this is your first time, I feel like I shouldn't repeat for the sake of everyone who might have listened to part 1. Please just listen to part 1. I talked about why I decided to go into engineering management from chemical engineering. I was just done. Let's say I wasn't. Funny enough, when I was in, for as many of you who study chemical engineering, if you're listening to this, you might know these professors. Shout out to Mr. Engineer Ogumbi. He was one of my best lecturers in the history of Cornell University. Professor Anoze and Mr. Ayeni, and even Professor Vincent, they were, and Professor Matete, these were and a lot of other people, Dr. Mamadou, Engineer Sani, these were lecturers who, they pushed you to the end. So even if And there was nothing like AOC. So for most of you who are not Nigerians, AOC means like area of concentration, where you now ask, although let me not say, I always used to ask question, excuse me ma, excuse me sir, so what parts do you think we should concentrate on when we're reading for the exam? You know, all those very fishy questions. And they would never give us, never, even with how bulky like our what they call it, scheme of work would be. A scheme of work, we called it, right? I'm trying so hard to learn American slangs and how North Americans talk, and I'm also beginning to lose track with my Nigerian parlance. But oh well, so I think with the bulky scheme of work here, they won't give us AOC. But in my 5th year, after taking this class on industrial chemical operations and finance, I was like, I want to go into manufacturing. I want to change the manufacturing industry. You know, I find it funny that in Nigeria, we have most of the, what do you call it? Ores, minerals and elements. No, elements is not the word. We have most of the raw minerals, you know, that can save the world, literally. I'm sorry to my other African country friends, but like, I'm sorry, I really think Nigeria is Wakanda. Honestly, whoever wrote that Marvel script has vision. I think it's Stanley as well. I'm not sure. Let me not shoot myself in the leg, but but yeah, I think Nigeria is Wakanda. You know, we have gold. Still, I can go on and on and on about all the raw minerals we have, yet none of them are being put to use. And I was so amazed after I took that class. I was like, I wish I could go into manufacturing industry. I wish I could come back and help. That's a comeback. You know, back then I was such a patriot that I wasn't even going to do my master's. I think I talked about this in episode 4 because I was so sure I was going to break into the oil and gas industry. And once I'm earning oil and gas money, I'm good. But eventually things happened. Purpose changed. God had other plans. I had other plans, you know, and all of that. So yeah, that's the long and short of engineering management. So I really thought I was going to do manufacturing and industrial engineering eventually. Well, industrial engineering is still engineering management, relatively. But yeah, that was what led to me making the switch. Next question. Were your expectations met as you transition? Sorry, I'll take that again. Were your expectations met as you transition? What's the problem? Were your expectations met as you transitioned from Nigeria to America, or was there some sort of culture shock? Of course. My very worst culture shock and most annoying is still the tipping culture here. Although I grapple with my conscience, but I'm like, you know, God, I already paid. I paid my dues. I paid what they said I'm supposed to pay. I still paid the service fee. I still paid delivery fee. What am I tipping again? What? Please, if you're non-African and you're listening to this, please, I'm not a bad person, honestly. There are days when I'm in the mood and I give. But for someone who really budgets her finances, I've already budgeted this, how much I'm spending. Please, where's the tip coming from again? Me too, you can also tip me from patronizing you, but you don't. So please, just leave me and let me be. But you know, some other days, my friend, you know, I've had discussions with people who stay and they talk about how, even with how much we think they earn, but at least now that their minimum wage has been moved up to $15 per hour, I'm hopefully they won't be cheated out of their cut. You know, most of them live on the tips we give them. So their employers don't exactly pay that much, which I find it was such a rude awakening. But I was still like, but me too, I have other bills to pay, right? Because I don't want anyone to think I'm wicked. And neither am I trying to be likable. I'm answering a question. They asked me if I had culture shock. Yeah, that's one of it. I don't know. I mean, I might not be the right person to ask. Also because I'm quite exposed. And also because I grew up on Hollywood. You know, American TV. I mean, if you watch American movies a lot, if you read a lot of books by American authors, or if you've just lived the American life vicariously through TV or books or audio or, you know, any other thing while you're in Nigeria, I don't think a lot of things would shock you. Although since I came here, I've actually seen another thing too is, you know, trying to draw the line between not being homophobic and actually accepting, you know, the LGBTQ. So that's another culture shock. I mean, I've seen, let me not talk too much, but I've had people in my class as, you know, transgender female or male. I've also seen like people cozy up, like same-sex cozy up together in public, you know. That may also be another culture shock. I've also seen like PDA being really PDA, not like Nigerian PDA is different. We do that one with Yanga, like PDA. Like, I'm telling you goodbye and I have to kiss you on the lip. I'm doing this and I have to, So I'm like, get a room, guys, but just on like few counts, not that. So, but yeah, maybe that might also be culture shock. But nonetheless, I think I've been fine. My expectations is a transition. I mean, like I said, if you've been exposed, I don't think there would be any, I don't think I had any expectations. Even when I came here, people would ask me, how long have you been here? Like, it feels like you've been here for so long, because I just came and I blended, there wasn't a lot of attaching and detaching I need to do. That's what I'm trying to say. So next question. Tips on statement of purpose. This is a whole, like, you have to jump on a Zoom call with me for this one. And it's not like I'm even a pro at it, but hey, my SOP, I had admission, at least 2 admissions out of 6. I even know a guy who got admitted into all the schools. He was admitted. See, this thing, I don't know if it's a game of luck, how they say, it's a game of luck or a game of chance, but I would just say you have to be ready. That's it. You just have to go into it ready and not like laissez-faire. If you go into this process of grad school journey process of, I'm getting this, I'm ready. And I really believe in it that your mindset is all it takes. That I really believe that the mind is more powerful than the brain. And I actually really believe that what you manifest is really what you attract. I do believe it. So it just depends on how you write it. And I also believe in not having a template when you write your SOP. So I didn't, even though I read a lot of other people's SOPs, I would ask for it, but I never had it open when I was writing mine. When I would read and absorb and see, okay, this first paragraph, this is what the tips are about. This is how they started. This is the theme of this first paragraph. I can see the theme of the second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth, fifth, So I started to understand the pattern with which other people wrote. There is also a popular book, Graduate School Admission Essays, I think. So if you Google all these things, you would find a lot. And for as many of your friends who are here, ask them, although, of course, plagiarism is a sin here. I find out that every other thing seems to be forgivable apart from examination malpractice. Like, they take it above their head, not even to their neck, like the top of their head. I'm like, is it that serious? But I guess it is. So just beware of plagiarism if you have to use other people's SOPs. And if your school gives you, Cornell actually gave me a template when I wrote this one. Like, they told me my department put it there, the things they would like to see. So who am I not to follow it? So I sat down with it side by side. I still remember submitting my SOP at the nick of time, like 3 minutes to the deadline, because I was trying to make everything perfect. So they asked me to talk about my research experience, even though my program is actually not thesis based, but so I just followed the rubrics they gave, and I really put my heart into it. And also, if you listen to my episode 4 on how I got into Cornell, my coming here wasn't exactly out of desperation. I really had a purpose for why I wanted to study the particular program I wanted to. So as long as I was able to tell myself these truths, and I knew these truths, I was able to also tell someone else, why I thought I should be admitted into their program. But if you need more tips, just where to find me. Shoot me an email, and I'm happy to jump on a call with you over Zoom. Which other schools were you admitted to, and why Cornell? So I'm going to be like the annoying YouTuber that tells you to click on the link of the other video or put the link in the other description box. But yeah, I talked about this in my episode on how I got into Cornell, episode 4. So you should look for it and please listen. But I'm nice, so I'll also tell you a bit. There's not too much story, so LOL. I only got into 2 schools out of like 5.5 schools I applied for. I say 5.5 because after I got my 2 admissions, I halted on my last admission, which was Northwestern University. So I applied to Stanford, which was my dream school apparently. I applied to Stanford University, and I also plan to bring my friend from Stanford here on the show, who is a Tennessee scholar. If you're also interested in that episode, send me a DM and let me know that there's demand for it. I'm just giving sneak peeks here and there. If you're new here, I've mentioned that the next season 2, which is summer season, I have a lot of interviews lined up. So if this is your first time here, please, you are welcome to stay. Content is overflowing. Please. I don't even know what I'm begging. But I would like you to listen to them. I think it would be helpful too, especially if you're considering coming here. So yeah, I applied to Stanford, Columbia, applied to George Washington University, applied to Purdue. No shout out to them because I don't know why they deny a lot of people in Purdue. I applied to, some people actually got admitted as well. But what was the fifth one? They also applied to Northwestern and Cornell. Yes, so those are the 6. Northwestern is the 5 and is the 0.51 because I dropped out of it. And most of these schools, I applied to them without paying admission fees. So if at the time I was applying, I didn't have money, although I had a budget for admission fees, my parents had given me money for admission fees. But I was like, you know what? They say other people can get in without admission fee. I'm going to try. And I constructed a proper reason why I needed them to waive my fees. And actually at the time, I wasn't earning, I was a youth course. So I wasn't earning that much. And I leveraged that to, I always just told my truth. So yes, even for Stanford, I didn't pay the 125 application fee. Even though I had to do a whole other application. Stanford really stressed me out when I didn't get it there. I was so vengeful. But God came through, I didn't pay they waived my TOEFL even. So I really thought, wow, this school loves me. I'm going to get in. But yeah, here we are today and I don't regret it. Another prayer I had was, God, please take me to a school that I really love. The way I loved Convention University, the way I loved my time there. And I'm really happy I'm here, guys. So yeah. And I chose Cornell because, well, for obvious reasons. And also because the woman here, the people who I kept interacting here to, they were really nice. Like, they spoke to me not just with cordiality, but like human beings. I really felt, and back then in Nigeria, it's like, wow, these white people are being so nice to me. And I know they're white because, of course, you would have Googled them. So please, this is not drawing shade and putting shade on anyone, but they were really nice to me. And that's the same thing I told the visa officer during my interview. I couldn't go there and start saying, well, Cornell is an Ivy League, their engineering program is very solid. I really went for the jugular and I told them, and by that, like, I was really honest about my answers. Those visa officers, they don't like when people give them calculated, stoic answers. So I was really trying to be honest. Second to the last question, guys. How did you make friends? This one, I'm never answering it. Please just help me help you and listen to episode 10 on how to make friends in a new country and how to put yourself there. I really went all out for that episode. And that's because just before I made that episode, I had a friend, shout out to you, Eunice. She had texted me and said, stop apologizing, the episodes are too long. If you want to gist us with your chest. So I was like, okay, E for energy. And I took that energy into that episode and I I'd already prepared this whole list and for each point, I give an example. So that podcast is so detailed. I don't know if anybody can be that detailed in the whole wide world. And trust me, if you listen to it and you don't make any friend, call me a liar, because I'm not. What did I just say? But trust me, I think the episode will be worth your time, even though you have to listen to it in bits and pieces. Yeah. So yeah, but making friends, but I must say, I was born friendly. I said that too in that episode. So don't listen to it and feel too much pressure. Like, how is she doing it? How am I not doing it? No. I was actually born friendly, so I don't have an issue making friends. Yeah. So. But don't worry, I'm sure you get a hang of it. And you can also pray about it too. Honestly, I believe in anything that stresses me out. I just give it to God, like the spoiled child of His that I am. I'm like, what, God, just take care of that. I need friends, take care of that. Thanks. T for thanks, God. T for thanks, Pops. So even when I was coming here, that's something I also prayed for. And it has always been a habit since secondary school. And I think my parents have taught me to pray like that. Like, God, please give our children good hostel mates. Back in Nigeria, boarding schools called hostel. Give them good hostel mates. Give them good roommates, and all of that. So that's something you can also pray for when you're coming here. But you should also listen to episode 10. Comes highly recommended. Then, last but not the least, is the abroad overrated or it ticked all your boxes? Well, I've only been here 6 months, so who knows? I came here in November. I just arrived November 2020, and you might really want to listen to my How I Got Into Cornell episode 4. Comes highly recommended too. I talked about the first day I arrived here, and how it was. And like I also said previously, in fact, and actually been to the US before once in 2012 when I came here for the National High School Model United Nations. I think now NISs, but I think now they do it in Abuja. The one in Abuja is more popular, but I came for the one in New York at the UN General Secretariat. I think that's what it's called, or the UN General Headquarters in New York. So that was my first time in New York. We stayed at Sheraton, and we had a good time. Then if you even see pictures of that 2012, it's so illegal for me to have been dressed like that. I wear socks and wear sandals. Like I was even, okay, this is side gist, guys. The weather was so cold that my nose, I was bleeding through my nose. And the woman had actually warned me that all of us, you guys have to stay knitted. We came with someone who ran the program. I think it was called the FTI program or so. Me and we're like a group of some Nigerian students. We wrote an exam. If you pass, you come and all of that. So that was how I came here. I should already warned us that this weather is cold. All of you should stay kitted, stay coated, stay warm. But I was like, how will I bring this my fine salary nowhere? It's being the rebellious child that I can be. How old is I? Maybe 2012. And you can do the math. And then I wore my sandals without socks. And I think that's how the cold entered my body and I started bleeding through the nose. And I don't even think I had health insurance because we were only supposed to stay here for 8 days. And then she had to go and get drugs from the counter. And here, the pharmacies are not just like, and the drugs are not like you can just pick any drug. Some of them have to be prescribed. So I don't even know how she did this. She had to use her ID card and buy me a drug, a particular medicine. Sorry, did I say drugs? Oh my goodness. They have warned me. In Nigeria, we call medication drugs, but not like drugs or hard drugs, like just tablets, medication, please, oh, please. And it had like, I think, all these medicines that they might use like narcotics to make like marijuana and all this kind of things. She had to, and I think it was really expensive. She scolded me that I should never wear sandals, whatever. I was such a Johnny just come back then, so that's the whole point. But I eventually survived it. And some days the weather was warm. I came in March, so I would be able, and that's when I came here. So I hated this so much that I couldn't rock my clothes. Sometimes when I even still look at Instagram and I see my friends in Nigeria, I envy that. I'm just like, wow, look at how fine that dress is. I can't even wear that kind of dress here anymore. Either the weather is too cold, or why would you wear that kind of beautiful dress and cover it with a whole winter jacket? So it's very annoying, but yeah, so I don't think abroad is overrated, actually. And even if it is, I don't, actually, maybe it is, honestly. Because even some people telling me, it looks like you're having fun when they see my Instagram. Well, I'm trying to have fun, but it's not exactly like that. There's some things I even see, I'm like, wow, you mean this happens in America? You mean there are poor people in America? It's like, it's weird. Although, like, I think I saw that in Coming to America Part 1, but it's easy for you to think everything is perfect here. And we can blame that on Hollywood, actually. Even when I came here, I used to think that it's only in Nigeria you can see power transmission lines on the road. But there's some parts, in this part of the city, I remember the first time I saw power transmission, I was like, wow. And I'll be there abusing Nigeria that they cannot cover these power transmission lines. They're supposed to be underground. But, it's here too. There are a lot of people too who live below the poverty line here, although they're very well taken care of. They have food stamps. They have shelter houses. I would say the people who are poor here are really well taken care of. And even, like, you will not just see a random beggar on the road. So I still think it might be overrated or it might just be the city I'm living in. But all in all, it's still good to be here. I don't know about ticking all my boxes yet. Like I said, I just got here. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad. It's still, there are a lot of perks you enjoy. There are a lot of things. I won't say because light is 24 hours. Even before I left Lagos, I was living with my parents, and where we stayed, we always had lights, 24 hours too. And what else will I say I really enjoy here? I think it's just the organization. The way things here are done with ease. That suffer-head mentality. And when I mean suffer-head mentality, like, how do I translate that from Nigerian parlance to Western English? Suffer-head. Let's say masochistic now. Like, in Nigeria, it's like people derive pleasure from pain. It's just, I think it's called masochemy or masochistic something, Forgive my vernacular, but, that's just how it is. Everything just has to be a struggle. So it's just beautiful not to have to go through that here. It's just beautiful for someone not to have to try to grease your palms, or like want you to pay something to get something. Everything here is mostly transparent. And I think I really like how there's access to a lot of things. All I need to do is just ask. That's why I keep shouting on this podcast. Anything you need, send an email. Trust me, you will be surprised how things are free here. Free. Like, even though that are giving you stuff, I'm even surprised that you too, you're shocked. So I've started maintaining my shock. If someone tells me this is free, I'm like, oh, thank you. Now I'm used to it, that you can get free stuff here. Free quality stuff, I must add, for free. Yeah, you get the point. So yeah, I think we've come to the end. Let me just check my Google Sheet, my Google Doc. Yeah, I think that's the end. Yeah. Yeah. So this marks officially the end of season 1. I appreciate all of you. It's been a wild ride, quite. I launched this podcast February 10th of 2021. And I decided to put it, I was deciding if I should make it a serial podcast or seasonal, but I think let's try seasonal. Well, at least for now. So and because my spring semester is actually coming to an end, I'm deciding to also wrap up this season with my spring semester and start a new season. Although there will be a bonus episode for this season, about filing your taxes. So I'm hoping to get around to filing my taxes next week. So any new thing I'm able to learn from it, I'll share with you guys. And if I'm even eligible to file my taxes, I'll let you know. If I'm not, I'll let you know. The episode might be as short as 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know. But yeah, we have come to the end of this episode, guys. Come to the end of this season on the Non-Immigrant Student Podcast. And I'm so proud of myself, guys. I bet on myself and I'm doing it. I'm doing the whole damn thing, guys. The president is female. Yeah. So, and thank you. I also couldn't have been this encouraged and been this consistent without you guys. Thank you all, especially to all my listeners in Nigeria. Honestly, I thank you guys so much. Even for some of you who are here, not even because, some of you are here just because you're my friends. Some of you are here just because you're not even planning to, migrate here anytime soon for your studies, but yet you're still here. And to my very few listeners in other parts of the world, I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so happy you get to experience my awesomeness, guys. And hopefully I can experience your awesomeness too. But you will not send me an email, so who will we blame in this instance, in this case? But yeah, thank you guys for before I get too emotional, but thank you. Honestly, I can stay here thanking you all day long, but I just want you to know that I'm grateful. Thank you for following me on Twitter, on Instagram. Thank you for enjoying my content. Thank you for always letting me know I do this. I won't say I do this because of you, but so far I've been doing it because of God and myself and for you too. So it's a win-win for everyone, guys. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. The stats I got recently that made me see, my podcast is like in very, high tiers in certain categories, in education and health categories. And I'm really proud of myself and of you for choosing to trust me on this journey. For the opt-in time, thanks again. And bye. See you in the next season. You guys, even myself, I'm not ready. But see you guys and hopefully see you in the bonus episode. So bye. Thank you guys so much. Bye. I'm having separation anxiety, but bye guys. Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.